You're listening to Hotepish with your host, Dwan B. Intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
What up, y'all? Coming live. I thought I put this announcement out there a little bit earlier. Shit, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to announce the show. We're gonna talk about this for a little bit. You know how I like doing Hotep-ish, intelligent-ish talk. First of all, welcome to Hotep-ish. Intelligent-ish talk, intelligent shit talk. The home of the profound and the profane. Some days we got jokes, some days we got notes. Today we got jokes and notes. Notes on what's going on in society and jokes about that. Because everything that happens in the news, everything that happens in the media has a lesson to be learned from it. Don't just watch this shit in a vacuum and be entertained. Ask yourself why these things have so much traction and what can I learn from it? Let me first start off by saying DwannBrown gives zero fucks about the Royals. You dig? They're a bunch of degenerate losers. I don't like them. They ain't shit. But since this is the news of the day, why not take the news of the day and find out what we can learn from the news of the day to improve our lives on a personal level? So today I will be using these jackasses as a canvas to talk about a bigger issue that we all face, and that's relationships. How to choose the right partner. How to choose the right one. Because relationships have consequences. You dig? So we're here to talk about this shit from a higher level. Even though we talk shit here, you know me, I like to elevate the conversation. Thank y'all for joining the chat room. What's up, Star? What's up, Anthony Hopkins? What's up, Boss of Queen E? Rastas, and that's a long ass name in one. God damn, I just finished smoking weed, man. I can't be, y'all gotta put spaces between y'all names if you want me to read them. I smoke up, man. I can't be sending these 5 names in one. What's up, Miss Porsche? Eric Shipley, Anthony Evans. What's up, Goldie? DC showing love. Flight School. What's up? Man, Flight School. I feel like, man, that made me feel like playing my flight simulator. I love playing I got that Flight Simulator 2020. Be flying in planes, be flying these hoes all around the world, you dig? I had a flight a couple weeks ago from Moscow to goddamn, where did I fly to? From Moscow to like Alaska, over the North Pole. Just, I like shit like that. I love my flight simulator. My wife be laughing her ass off when I play my flight simulator. She love calling me the nigga nerd. I'm a nigga and a nerd at the same time. What's up, Tasha? What's up, Emmanuel? What up, Aaron? Yeah, we here. We're gonna talk about relationships. And we're gonna use, like I said, we're gonna use the Meghan Markle, what the fuck her name is, and Prince Harry as a canvas. Because for those of you, unless you've been under a rock, you know what's been going on. I've been personally on a news hiatus, so I haven't really been watching too much news, and I still know what's going on with this shit. Because everybody's been talking about it. So I said, okay, let me just go ahead. This ain't really news to me. This is more of a story. For me, this is more of a, what do you call those things? A societal study. You know, I'm still on my news hiatus. I ain't been really watching too much news lately. You know, we all got to take breaks from the current events and what's going on and the stresses of the world. Because like I say all the time, you create your own reality. And as long as if you stay tied into this shit and let the cares of the world get too much on you, you stop creating your reality and you start following the reality of others. So in order to make sure that doesn't happen, it's good to stay aware with the news. It's good to know what's going on, but don't immerse yourself in it. You know what it is, see what's going on in the world around you, figure out whatever lessons you need for yourself, and you move on. And so I do recommend you take a week, 2 weeks, sometimes at a time, sometimes a month if you need to not listen to any news and just, see the world around you, experience the world around you, love the world around you, because the world is beautiful. We live in a beautiful world. It's beautiful people in this world. Nature, nigga, it's springtime, goddammit, next week. That means these jasmines about to be popping up. These lavender flowers, man. You need to smell them hoes when they pop out. You ever be driving with your window down and you just smell a bush of jasmine over off to the side somewhere? It ain't the most beautiful shit ever. Man, we got the springtime coming. Live life, man. The sunshine is coming back out. Get outside, get that melanin popping. Get in the sun. Breathe some fresh air. Think about the people who love you. Love them back. And then get to the business of creating your reality however you want. So like I start my news programs, I always want to start off with that, man. We talk about what's going on, but never be burdened by what's going on. You dig? Travion said I ain't seen you in here in a while. He said his iPhone been in the shoebox for 30 days. Goddamn. I don't know about all that there. I be having to get some business taken care of. All right, Tasha, watch the replay. Thank you for joining in. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. Choosing the right person. Because one thing I notice in life, you got a lot of people who don't like relationships. They mad at they mad at their last spouse. They can't stay with nobody, or they don't want to. Right now, people are at the point they don't even want to open up their heart to nobody because all they see is what's going on. We got to talk about that. We got to set this shit straight, you know? And to give you a little bit of background, I'm talking about this shit from my point of view, you know, as someone who's super, super duper happily married. I believe I chose the right one. I believe I have a very good guide and very good, you know, spidey senses on who to choose. So I'm speaking from experience. Not some random nigga that done been divorced 15 times trying to tell y'all what a relationship's about. No, nigga, I've never been divorced. I've only been married, and I've only been happily married. So from experience, and I'm also, you know, I'm a relationship coach. So I deal with a lot of people in their relationships. So I'm coming to you guys from the point of view of someone who knows what success is based on my personal experience, based on the experience of my parents and their parents before that. I come from a lineage of people who've gotten married and stayed married. And I have a pretty good point of view on how to make that happen and how to make that shit keep popping, if you feel what I'm saying. Let's get on over here talking about, first of all, let's start off by talking about, we all know Oprah interviewed Meghan Markle and her degenerate husband this past weekend, talking about, you know, their relationship. And they basically were going in talking about why they had to leave and move and how they stayed at Tyler Perry's house for a few days, you know, when all this shit was going on. And he was talking about, and she got in talking about how racist basically the family was and is. And a lot of people feel bad for her. You know, I've been seeing like a lot of Twitter, especially that single mammy Twitter, just, oh my God. She dealt with such horror. Oh, that's so mean. She's a hero. And I'm like, all right, pause. She knew what she was getting into when she got with the royal family. Look, people, we all know who the fuck the royal family is. A bunch of racists. These are the vanguards of racism. These are the people that said, okay, I'm going to go to your country where there's a whole bunch of dark people and tell you it's illegal to be dark. That's what these motherfuckers did to India, to the United States of America. Who is the Queen of England? I'm laying a foundation for you people before I really go all the way there. Because a good relationship requires that you do some kind of a vetting, some kind of a background of the people that, the person that you're going for, the person you want to marry. Where do they come from? What's their stock? Well, Harry's stock is of that. Who is Harry's grandmother? The Queen of England. This is how racist the Queen of the Church of England is. I mean, England is. Back when slavery first started, the Pope gave dominion of the earth to both Spain and Portugal. Spain got to get one side of the earth, Portugal got to get the other, and start slavery and spread their bullshit in the name of Christianity. Well, when England got its weight up and had enough money to then start getting itself into the slave trade, they said, hey, why can't we own slaves by the church? Approved by the church. The Pope basically said, hey, look, homie, I already set up a deal with Spain and Portugal, but, you know, England, you're going to have to get it how you get it. So England said, all right, cool. They created their own church, and it was called the Protestant Church. Base word, protest. What were they protesting? They were protesting their God-given right to own slaves. So they created their own church. That church head is who's ever ruling the British monarchy. And that's the person who gives the God-given divine right for England to then export its mayonnaise-style racism across the world. So when you're talking about slavery and you're dealing with countries that speak English that aren't on that musty-ass rock up there in Europe, you're dealing with people who were conquered by this German family. Yes, they're German. Look it up, but that's another story. That's another story. Yes, the Queen of England's husband was a Nazi. Yeah, but we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. She decides to marry into the family that's spread its mayonnaise mustiness across the planet of the earth. Disease, germs, all that. Now she's crying that racist family, the family that started racism in the language of English, is being racist towards her. Boo-hoo. How does this play out in day-to-day life? There's a lot of people out there, when they get into relationships, and this is why relationships have leave such a bad taste in people's mouths. People often choose the wrong person and say, oh, all relationships are bad because you keep choosing bad people. You don't make time to look into a person's background. You don't take time to really dig into the essence of who people are before you have children with them. And I'm not here to judge. This isn't judgmental. This is not judgmental at all. I ain't judging shit. You know what I mean? We all kind of got fucked up in how we got taught how to choose relationships. So I get it. I'm just here to talk about it on how do we solve these issues moving forward. See, you got people who they'll get committed to somebody, marry someone, have children with someone without truly knowing who that person is or where they come from. And I'm not saying just because someone comes from a certain thing, they can't be better than their environment. People rise above their environments all the time. But let's tell the truth, most of you niggas don't. Some do. Most don't. Most people just gonna be a chip off the old block. And you get into a relationship with this person. Things ain't going right. You chose an image, not what you truly wanted. Because the truth is, when people get in relationships, the problem is this. And I got this from my wife. This is a great quote from her. She's smart as hell. People go for a look when what they really want is an experience. Let me break that down. Megan, according to her own history and past interviews, I would kind of check this chick out over the years from time to time because she was from the Crenshaw district. I'll break that down in a little bit. So I saw a chick from basically a mile from where I grew up was getting ready to marry this ugly ass prince from an ugly ass family. And so I was like, you know what? Let me get know a little bit more about this chick. And you saw during the time that they were courting before they got married that she basically said that, she chased this nigga down. She would find out where he would be at different shindigs, and she would find ways to get up in them shindigs. Like your average NBA groupie. She chose a little higher than some dumb athlete. She went right to royalty. And people do this all the time. How do regular people do this? How does this work out in regular relationships day to day? Regular folks say, I want somebody that makes $500,000 a year, who wears this particular clothing brand, who drives that car, who has a six-pack, who comes from this neighborhood or that neighborhood, or they look this way, they're 6'2", or she a chick, she got a big booty and long flowing hair. You look for that superficial shit. When what you really want is just someone who you're attracted to. You just want someone you're attracted to. But oftentimes people don't even really get comfortable with what they're attracted to. We see this all the time. You'll see these dudes talk about some man shit. I can only get with a woman who got some double D's, a thin waist, a big booty. And then you look at their baby mama, and their baby mama look like Gerald Levert. Nigga, I thought you said you want, what? I thought you said the women you fuck with look like Hillary Banks. Your baby mama look like Uncle Phil. How that happen? Because truth is, you really like them big women. Nigga. You just scared of what niggas is gonna say. So you talk all kind of shit about what you do like and end up having a baby with Ben Wallace. Nigga, you got to be comfortable with, if you like something in a woman, it's something that you like. Look, if you like midgets, somebody like me or anybody else will say you wrong for liking midgets with bow legs. If you like a midget with bow legs, be proud of it. It's somebody for everybody. But people be lying they ass off about what they want because people don't like to get comfortable with what they like. They want to get something so they can show the rest of the world to say, hey, look, I'm popping because I got everything you motherfuckers want. Because let's tell the truth. People are more concerned about shitting on other people than living their own goddamn best life. That's the problem with relationships. People go for the look. When a woman says, I want a man that makes $500,000, what she's really saying is she just wants to be secure. And ladies, there's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, it's natural for women. It's natural. A woman needs security. Men build, women organize. We see this shit when kids are 6 months old, a year old. You give a boy some blocks, he gonna build them hoes up and karate chop them hoes down. Hiya! That shit used to be fun when I was a boy. You build some blocks up and then you run through them motherfuckers like a football player. Nigga, that shit fun. You give a girl them same blocks, she gonna start organizing them. She gonna organize them by color, by shape. She gonna make a dope little pattern with them same blocks. What does that tell you? Men build, women organize. And it's not about one being better than the other. Nigga, is the left foot greater than your right foot? See, that's nothing with relationships. People get into this competition shit. Relationships ain't got a goddamn thing to do with competition. It's about each other filling the other's role, holes. We all got holes. We all got parts of our personalities where we're dominant. We all got parts where we kind of suck at. So in order for a woman to be in her natural lane In order for her to be natural to what she's naturally good at, she needs a man who's going to build something and create something for her to organize. She ain't a gold digger, nigga. It's the reason why the men hunt, to get the meat. A bull is heavy. Go hunt, nigga, and stop bitching. We got a whole generation of bitch ass niggas out here that's mad at women for wanting resources. Oh, these women are gold diggers. Why do they want so much? Because it's not a woman's job to hustle to get it. It's your job, nigga. So all the woman is saying is she wants a man with resources so she can then be in her natural feminine state of organizing those resources and putting that shit together. Fellas, she ain't trying to change you. They just see shit from a different angle. And she trying to sharpen you up. Listen, nigga. And if you can't trust her if you don't trust her decisions, don't get with her. Don't marry her. Let her be the jump off that you smash, and then you go on to the one you really want to fuck with. You don't marry the one you don't trust, fool. I get tired of these niggas talking about, man, she trying to do this to me. She trying to do that to me. That's her job. If you don't trust it, don't marry her. Don't get with her. Don't let her be the number one. She the chick that you take to the bar, have a good time with, then drop off back at home. You don't wife her up. You only wife up the one you trust, nigga. So women, you gotta know, it ain't necessarily that you want, and this is something that women have to start to learn to articulate. It's not that you want all of these grand old things. You just want to be secure. You want to know the rent's going to be paid on time or the mortgage is going to be paid on time. You want to know that it's going to be food, enough money to buy food, to put in the refrigerator. That's what she wants to know. She wants to know when she gets in her car, she's going to be able to get to her destination without the shit breaking down. And if it do, will you be there to help? Or are you going to be a little nervous Nelly, more frantic than her? She ain't going to respect that, nigga. On the man end, men say, I want a woman that looks like this, that looks like that. Really, you just want somebody that you're attracted to, brother. That's fine. Get what you want. But what happens is you get these dudes that they see these little Instagram models, these Instagram chicks, and they're saying, my woman got to look like that. And so they go ahead, they do their part, they make a lot of money, they get the resources. A eunuch just disliked the video. I don't give a fuck, nigga. Shouts out to the 91 people who liked it. But I got 191 in here, so I should have 191 likes. Like the shit and share it. People go for a look when what they really want is the experience. Women that's the look they say, but what they really want is the experience of security. Men, we're very visual. So my advice to fellas is get down to what you like physically. A lot of dudes go for what society says looks good. So they get a job or they get a career, they create a business, you make the money, you're the one making the $500,000 a year. You own the business, you got the degree or whatever personal goals you set for yourself you've accomplished. Now you're like, I can't find a woman that's gonna do right by me. Oftentimes that is because the women you're looking for have a certain look. And oftentimes I would see this shit a lot when I used to party a lot in Hollywood. I'm 39, so I'm done. My party days have been over for like 7 or 8 years now. But when I used to party a lot, I used to be in the club 6 nights a week. at least. And I would often go to sometimes two to three different clubs in a night. I would hit up, y'all, anyone who in Hollywood knew the run, you hit up Ledoux. Ledoux ain't cracking. You walk around the corner of the Element, few steps. You leave there. You drive down to Sugar. That was on a Friday night. On a Sunday night, you went to the Garden of Eden. Later on, it was called My House. And then you go down to West Hollywood and go to Guys and Dolls. Y'all know, y'all go to Hollywood Run. I used to beat these motherfuckers all the time. And I would see the NBA players and the actors and the people that the niggas in bottle service all be in competition for the same women, same chicks, same look. I used to see this all the time when I used to be in the friends and family room at Clipper games and Laker games, and you would see the different girlfriends that the players had, and they all looked the same. Thin waist, kind of a bubble butt, long hair, medium brown to light skin, not too dark. And you could take one chick's head off one, put it on the other, you won't know the difference. I remember the first time I took my wife to one of those games. She walked in the friends and family room and was like, is this some Stepford chick going on in here? Why all these women look alike? See, the fellas go for a look. A look that they can take this chick so they can take her and shit on all the other dudes with what they got. Well, you can get the look, but does that look have substance behind it? Matter of fact, did you even take time to find out what substance you even like behind the look? A lot of cats, especially those who get the resources, they go to the look. It should look a certain way. She should behave a certain way. She should have a certain smile. And she should do these 4 things in bed. And you get all of that. And then the women, you get a dude that produces all these things. And you're fucking miserable. You're fucking miserable. And that's what people go through all the time. They don't get to know what they want, what they like. They never get in touch with themselves first. Because I'm telling you something. If you get in touch with yourself first, if you be secure with what you want, your desires first, I promise you're going to attract that. You're going to get her. And she's still going to look good. She's still going to have what you want. But it's going to be what you want. It's not going to be what I can take to shit and show on everybody else. Because let's just tell the truth. Half you niggas talking about all these women you pulling and what you want and you getting this, you getting that. Your baby mama got a receding hairline. Her edges is back at her ears. And you want to shit around and call her a bitch all goddamn day and talk about all these bitches this, these bitches that. Want to call women bitches all goddamn day. And some of these bitches is bitches and they deserve to be called bitches, but most of them aren't. Oftentimes you the bitch. And you attracted what you are. Same thing with a lot of these women. Oh, toxic masculinity, men this, men that. Oh, here's the thing with women. Women, y'all motherfuckers be escaping responsibility like the Matrix, bending and twisting. It'd be like, a lot of women believe they can make every wrong decision with the guys that they choose, and it should still turn out the way they want. And since it didn't turn out the way they want, it's toxic masculinity. Men are this, men are that. Or why don't men listen? Why don't men pay attention to me? You got with a nigga that don't pay attention to his own fucking kids he had before you, and you mad that he ain't paying attention to you. What the fuck is your problem? I remember it was one time when I was like in my 20s. That's nothing. When you young, you should be dating, man. And when you date, you figure it out what it is you like and what it is you don't like. And you refine your process through that. You don't get so heartbroken you don't try again. You just keep refining it as you date. I want to put up this tweet by Monique Presley. This is a chick that Bill Cosby had representing her and R. Kelly used for advice. This dirty bitch. Now, that's a proper use of the word bitch right here. All right? Look at how she flips this shit black on black men. Some of the worst, most ignorant, disrespectful takes on Megan sharing her story are coming from straight black men. It's sad, really. No, your legal record is sad. Why every black man you defend end up in jail? Let's deal with that before you start talking about straight black men. And then, first of all, straight black men don't give a fuck about this story. Cass is just cracking jokes based off what we're reading on Facebook and Twitter. The only people that really give a fuck about, like, the only men who really inherently, like, care passionately and deeply about the royal family is gay black men. Ain't no straight nigga give a fuck about them people. This is someone who's had it bad when it comes to relationships. Remember this, man. Relationships are a reflection of yourself. They're a mirror. And every relationship you're in is a mirror of where you are at that point in your life. If you don't like the relationship you're in, that means there's something within you that needs to change. And oftentimes, what that is just you getting in contact with yourself. If you get in contact with whatever that relationship is showing you is inside of you, is the key to knowing yourself better, which is going to be the key to being a better spouse with whoever you end up with. Remember that. You got to get in contact with yourself, because what's happening here with Meghan Markle, she's someone, like we said before, she chased this motherfucker down. She wanted the prince. And my question is, Meghan came a long way from the Crenshaw district to marrying the Prince of England. I'm going to tell y'all, Meghan Markle, we're around the same age. I think we're the same age. Yeah, we're the same age. When she got married, they were going around talking about she grew up in the ghetto, in the hood. No. Let me tell you a little bit where Meghan Markle grew up. Y'all know me. I'm your source for any and all things LA. She grew up on Angeles Vista. I'm going to show y'all a map of and how I'm going to screen share this. For those of you listening to the later broadcast on Spotify, come on over to YouTube and you will see I'm showing a visual of where she grew up. She grew up here on Angeles Vista. She grew up in the Crenshaw district. I know the kind of chick she is. This is my neighborhood. We share the same zip code. I remember what they did when she first came out, and they were saying that she grew up in the ghetto. No. This is not the ghetto. Angeles Vista is not the ghetto. Now, Angeles Vista is about a half a mile from the ghetto in every direction. But it ain't the ghetto. She went to 54th Street Elementary for a little bit. As actually, a few of my friends, they went to school with her. She was raised by her black mother, who made it with a white man and had her. Let me give you some proximity. Hey, I like doing these little these map things. That's part of my uniqueness on Facebook. I mean, on YouTube. I like talking like from these maps. You see her house right here, View Park. You see Crenshaw Boulevard right there. Right there. Crenshaw High School right there. She's about a 10-minute walk from Crenshaw High School, where she grew up. Over here, this strip you see right here, this is the Crenshaw Strip. When y'all watched Boys in the Hood and all that shit, when they were like, "What up, nigga?" All that was literally right down the street, right here. How do I know? When I was 10, I rode my bike down Crenshaw to watch them film that scene. I just had to be back home before the street lights came on, because my mom wasn't feeling that. So I didn't get to see the scene get filmed, but I was there right before they filmed that motherfucker. It was right here. So this is the area that Meghan Markle grew up in. If she ended up going off to these different private schools, and so even though she was raised around us, she was one of those who was raised around us, but she went to white schools. Like, she was raised in an all-black area, but in an all-black area where the black people had abundant resources. And it's funny, too, because she's on the Mason-Dixon line. Because north up here, where my cursor is, up here on Valley Ridge, y'all can't see because it's flat right here. This is a hill. These houses right here all have views of the city. She lived down here where she didn't quite have a view. And then when you came over here, where you see where my cursor is right now, that was kind of the hood a little bit. That was the hood. That was like kind of adjacent to the hood, but still kind of hood. And then you see right here, the Marathon clothing store. She's like a 2-minute drive, 10-minute walk max to the Marathon clothing store. If you were in LA circa 2000, 2005, you'd see Nipsey Hussle right here where this 7-Eleven is, where my cursor is. You see him selling his CDs right there. You see him selling his CDs right here where this Simply Wholesome is, Black Health, the only place they allow black people to open up a health food spot. You see him selling his shit right here. And as a matter of fact, the weekend before he died, one of my closest friends saw him right here that Saturday before he died. Not at Heatherdale, over here. Where's Sashi? Right here, Sashi. He was there actually at the same time as John Singleton. Like, one of my best friends had just saw him in this Sashi Teriyaki house a week before he died. But this is where Nipsey would sell his shit back in 2000, 2005, when Meghan Markle lived over here. He'd also sell his shit up here at the top of the hill. This is where I bought my first Nipsey CD, right here on this corner. I bought it because I got tired of seeing this nigga outside my car trying to sell shit. It was always I'm not gonna sit here and act like, oh, I've been fucking with Nipsey since day one. It was like, God damn, this nigga always up here selling shit. Let me just go ahead and buy it. I didn't even listen to the CD. I just bought the motherfucker because he was always out there hustling. And again, you see her house. So you see the area that Meghan Markle grew up in. Over here on this side of the hill, where it says Baldwin Village, this is the area of South Central LA called the Jungles. If you saw Training Day, they filmed it right here on Takana Street, all up in here, Stevely. That cul-de-sac where that scene was, that was right here on Stevely. That's where the Black P-Stones lived. I mean, and ruled in the 80s and the 90s. BPS. Oftentimes growing up, I had to see my stop signs with spray paint on them saying Kent, then the stop sign, then BPS under it. Crenshaw Mafia was somewhere over in this area. And the Rolling 60s were right down here behind the Marathon store. So this here is the area that Meghan Markle grew up in. She had her pick of a lot of dope, very successful black men who grew up in this same area. A lot of your black men in LA that had their heads on straight lived over here where she grew up. But instead of taking the time to find one of these good brothers who would have done good by her, she said, I want to marry the prince. So she skipped across all this potential goodness for her in this beautiful city of good young men and said, hey, fuck a personality. Let me marry a title. And that's the mistake a lot of people make. People don't marry and get with people. They get with that person's title. Ooh, I married a ball player. I married a cop. I married a light-skinned chick with green eyes. I married a chick with a big old booty and a thin waist. I married a man who works here, who works there. You do all that, and then you miserable. Ask yourself in your life, are you skipping over people who really fuck with you, who really like you, who are really down for you? Looking for the unicorn? Looking for the thing looking for an image? No magnetic Cuban. You said the house probably $800,000. No, unfortunately, that house right now, as small as it is worth over $1 million now. It's probably worth one. It'll probably, if they sold that house right now, it'll probably sell for 1.2, 1.4. And it's one of the smaller houses in the neighborhood too. That neighborhood got some big ass houses, and it also got some small ones. And in that 1.2, 1.4 you'll pay, that street, Angeles Vista, is a main street. It's not a side street. That's the street you take to get from the Crenshaw district to Ladera Heights. Like Angeles Vista is a black LA thoroughfare. It's a black LA thoroughfare where she lived. See, your regular black folks without a lot of money, or just in the regular neighborhoods, that Crenshaw district, Crenshaw's like the Mason-Dixon line. You be over here in the Lamert Park. That's where a lot of black folks live. White folks are coming into. You know, your people who lived in West Adams. In order to get to your cousins that had a little bit of bread on them, to get to Ladera Heights and View Park, you take Angeles Vista. Instead of Crenshaw to Slauson, you cut 5 minutes off by cutting across Angeles Vista. And so that's basically a main street. And you'll still pay 1.4 to live right there right now. Back in the 90s, that house, when the average house in LA was probably going for, in the hood, was going for $150,000, this house would have gone for $300,000 because of where it is. About double your hood prices, but still affordable. But yeah, I'm saying all this to say, going back to relationships, I'm talking Meghan Markle. We're talking about this shit because we're talking about it from the point of view of how we see this shit in our day-to-day lives, how we live our day-to-day lives. Oftentimes we pass up on gold to get to an image. And an image ain't shit. You got to live with the person you marry. I got this picture up right here for a reason, the wedding. See, this is the mistake a lot of people make when it comes to marriages. People focus on the wedding, especially women. Dudes don't really give a fuck about a wedding. But the mistake a lot of women make, unfortunately, is they're all about the wedding. The wedding has to be this. The wedding has to be that. I'm going to have a royal wedding. I'm going to have a wonderful wedding. We seeing a little bit of this drama play out on this season of Atlanta Housewives. Like, hell yeah, I watch Atlanta Housewives. I love that show. That shit funny as hell. Me and my wife, nigga, we pop some popcorn, pop open a bottle of wine, and we see what kind of fuckery King is going to start this week. I started watching Housewives with my wife about 5 years ago. Man, that should be fun as hell. Cause I used to be that nigga that would judge folks for what they watch. And when I found out my wife was watching Housewives, I was like, what are you doing watching this? Then I watched that shit. I was like, God damn, this shit funny. We all have our bullshit that we watch. Yeah, I can read 6 books in a week. Yeah, whatever. I like my basketball, but I also like Atlanta Housewives too, goddammit. You get to see a bunch of pretty black women with big booties cracking jokes. Nigga, I'm a straight man. That's entertainment like a motherfucker to me. And they funny as hell too. Candy be killing me with her dry humor. I don't know what the fuck Kenya was thinking, but that should be funny as hell to me. But we saw this playing out a little bit on this season of Atlanta Housewives. Cynthia got a good dude that she have in Mike, and she's stressing out over a goddamn wedding date, venue and date instead of the marriage. I see this all the time in my relationship coaching. You see people that are hell bent on the wedding has to be this way. The wedding has to be that. The wedding has to be this. Fuck a wedding. How's the marriage? Anthony said, Candy Bird's got them cheeks. Hey, so you brothers feel me? Ken Graham said, speak on it, G. Yeah, y'all brothers feel me? Y'all know how it is, man. Just my thing is this. Watch whatever reality show you want to watch. Don't feel guilty for watching bullshit entertainment. Just balance it with some information for yourself. That's all. Just balance it. Balance your entertainment. Get some information. Watch some fuckery. Get some information. Grow yourself as a person. Watch some bullshit. Grow yourself spiritually. Watch some more bullshit. Entertain yourself through sports. Learn something new. If that's the cycle, you good. Nigga JR said, Candy can get anytime she want. Lord. Ryan said, that bullshit don't be funny at all now. Quit playing. Well, if it ain't funny to you, then nigga don't watch. People always want to preach. That show ain't funny. It's making black people look this way. It's making black people look that way. Well, so is the news, goddammit. So is your auntie. That show is funny as hell to me. The shade that they be throwing, What's that one name? The one that kind of looked like Grace Jones? What's her name? What's her name? The one that was when they went on vacation, they was sleeping. She was sleeping in the living room. Marlo, funny as hell. Shit, don't think if I had a shindig at the house and somebody said Marlo was coming, don't think I wouldn't say yeah. Nigga, Marlo, come on, please, come on over the house if I'm having a shindig, cause Marlo be saying some funny shit. Don't trip around Marlo. She gonna get your ass. Pop. Yeah, you know. Yeah. This is Matthew said, I'm an intellectual. I don't watch. I keep saying, Matthew, my next basketball show, I'm gonna have you on. My next time I'm talking about sports, you and my man Jay Rue from UCLA. I gotta set that up. Oh, let me tell y'all before I even go further. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific time, I'm going to have King Simon on. Numerologist King Simon. I love numerology. I've had numerology readings from him. He's going to break down the science that is numerology. And he's authored 2 books on numerology. One called Numerovation. I've read it. If you're one of those people who think numerology is pseudo, I ain't here to convert you. Just don't listen to tomorrow's show, whatever. But for those who want to know more about numerology, what it is, get greater detail if you have an open mind to want to know more, King Simon will be on tomorrow to talk numerology. So have your numerology questions ready. He's also going to give a few short readings. We'll see if he can give you a few short readings based on your birthday. So, yeah, we're going to have King Simon on tomorrow to talk numerology. And like I said again, if you're super religious or you think that numerology is pseudo, that's fine. I'm not here to convert you. Whatever. We'll have him on tomorrow. And March 30th, I got Kaba Kamene. My dream interview. Somebody I've been wanting to interview for a long time. Somebody I look up to intellectually. I'm going to have the opportunity to pick his brain on this show. We will have Kaba Kamene from the Hidden Colors series, Bug Breaking, Out of Darkness, all these different documentaries he's been on. Y'all know who he is. He will be on March 30th. So we can talk that Hotep shit, Hotep-ish, that intelligent-ish talk, intelligent shit talk. So yeah, we about to have all that coming on. So back to what we're talking about. We're talking about, for those of you new to the broadcast, we're talking about relationships and how relationships have consequences. How to choose the right person. How to avoid that bullshit. The entertainment that we watch and consume, everything we watch and consume and watch and see around us is a canvas for us to learn from. Back to my Atlanta Housewives analogy. I'm going to stay on that analogy because someone in the chat room said it wasn't a good analogy. So that tells me it's the right analogy. Cynthia from the Housewives of Atlanta, and I don't know how it's going to play out because the season is over. I'm pretty sure they got married. She really tripping over the date of the wedding, over this and over that. Let me tell y'all something. Get that wedding shit out your head. If you can afford a good wedding, then cool. If you can't, look, it's about who you with. Marriage is an experience. Relationships are an experience. Not just your spousal relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. Your interpersonal relationships. The friends you choose. Which family members you choose to associate with. Which family members do you choose to love from a distance? Which people in your life do you decide to bring into your inner circle? Who are your friends on your outer circle? And who are just your associates? Those are your business partners, people you have business ventures with. It's some people you know, y'all just may be good for traveling. Y'all meet up just to travel and y'all hit up different festivals around the world. But when y'all back home, either you back home or you live in the same city and y'all got different inner circles, or you may not even live in the same city. You might have a homie, you live in Texas, they live in New York, and y'all meet up in Miami. Our relationships have different levels. So when I speak from relationships, what works. You feel me? What works. It works whether you're talking about friendships, intimate relationships, non-intimate relationships, co-working relationships, family relationships, parent-child relationships. There are relationships expressed through different funnels. And all relationships are a reflection of you and what's going on inside of you. So in order to have the best relationship with other people, it's best to start with having a good relationship with yourself. Because when you have a dope relationship with yourself, you can make informed decisions. You then know better what you like and what you don't like. When you have experiences with people, you learn from those experiences. Appreciate you, Stephen from Barbados. It's about the experience. That's why we said the quote, going back to the quote. People go for a look when what they really want is an experience. We all want experiences, but we've been fooled through this American society to think that the look is the experience. And that's why people are so caught up on weddings. Because a wedding is a look. My parents got married in Vegas. My mom had on a khaki jumpsuit. My dad had on some early 80s Player Vines with the Cadillac emblem around his gold chain. You know how niggas from the 80s was. They went to the Elvis Presley Chapel on the Vegas Strip. They got like 4 pictures from their wedding. But guess what? They still married. I was at my parents' house man, I got a call and set appointments to go see my parents now. They both retired. They'll just hop off. I'll go over there. It ain't gonna be nobody at home. Where y'all at? Oh, we at the casino. We in Vegas. We at Pachanga. Like, what? My parents don't let grass grow up under their feet. They be out. And then when they are home, the last time I went over there, I get home, they sitting at home watching Bonanza together. Like, y'all was 3 when this shit was out. They done long forgot about the wedding, but the marriage is good. My wife and I, we've never seen our wedding photos. Hey, I just thought about this. My wife is in the room with me. Shit, she'll never get on camera because she, they ain't. But, hey, baby, I just thought about this shit. We ain't got CD drives on our computers. Oh, shit. We can go, maybe my sister got my old computer. No, I'm saying we got to upload it to a hard drive, though. I'm literally just now realizing, my wife and I, we talking like we never seen our wedding photos and they're on a CD, but I never put the CD in the computer to upload them to my hard drive. Now we both got new computers and neither computer has a CD-ROM. So we like, oh, the shit. How we gonna find our wedding photos? Damn, I'm gonna have to go and buy. I'm gonna go to Best Buy and see if they got a CD-ROM I can hook up through like a USB port or some shit like that. Okay, yeah. You don't fuck about no goddamn wedding day. Now, because when we got married, things was cool. Financially, we weren't hurting for nothing, but the money wasn't there to throw a grand wedding. So we threw what we can throw with what we had. We got married. Now, one day, money straight, hell yeah, I'm down to renew our vows in some big old extravaganza and do something like that. I'm down for that. I'm with it. She said she wanted. If that's what she want, that's what she gonna get. But we ain't goddamn wait. We went into our marriage debt free like a motherfucker. I'll tell you a lot, that helped. Because I'm telling you something, early on in relationships, early on in marriages, that shit is tough. Y'all was kind of boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever. Yeah, whatever. Now y'all gotta talk about these bills and organizational shit, bank accounts and who's like and what color the curtains are gonna be and all kind of other shit. So it's gonna be some headbutting early on in those marriages. But when you ain't got no goddamn debt from a wedding, that helps some headbutting little fiascos be short-lived and back to the love. Marriages are about the experience. Friendships are about the experience. I'll give you an example. We all have friends on different levels. Like I said before, I started this earlier, this train of thought, but I want to finish it. You got your friends that are in your inner circle and your outer circle. Oftentimes, people will expect you see this shit on Facebook all the time. Oh, I didn't post nothing for a week and didn't nobody come check on me. Who the fuck is you, nigga? Most people ain't gonna be that. Most people, look, people live in their own lives. You only got one or two, maybe 3, 4 people who really, really, really are in that inner circle. And in order to have fruitful relationships in that inner circle, there's a common expectation that's had. But oftentimes people are very needy within themselves, so they start putting a lot of weight and a lot of burden on their friendships. Oh, you didn't call me. Oh, why do I always have to drive? Oh, you know what? Every time we go somewhere, that person's never the one that called me. I'm the one that called them. And all these different communication issues and this and that and this and that and the other. Everybody you have in your life ain't going to be on the same level. Every friendship that you have isn't going to do what the next friend does. It goes back to knowing who you are, knowing what you offer, and being and accepting of those around you of what they have to offer. You don't put these expectations on. You don't put burdens on people that you wouldn't put on to yourself. That's not being a good friend. That's not being a good husband, wife. So when you're with somebody, even if you don't know yourself getting into a relationship, if both of you at least have the desire to know yourselves greater and grow into yourselves greater, you'll be fine. Don't be looking for a look. Look for the experience. And you get that experience, like I said before, by understanding who you are and what you genuinely want. Because what people genuinely want is oftentimes different than what they say they want. Learn the difference between what you say you want and what you truly want. Because how can someone give you what you truly want if you can't quite verbalize it yourself? People ain't no motherfucking psychic palm readers. If you want something, goddammit, you gotta tell them. But how can you tell them if you don't know how to articulate it yourself? You got to find out. Gotta find out. You're right. Marriage is good when you're not worried about what other people think. That's another key to marriage and key to you can't have and friendships too. You can't have people all in your shit. One issue that the Meghan Markle and her degenerate husband are having is that degenerate grandmother basically like, look, I don't want to have no nigga grandkids. Did you see Harry in the interview? When they asked him about the racism, he basically said, you know, they said all kinds of things that I don't necessarily feel comfortable repeating and saying. What was he saying? What was he doing? He was basically defending his family at his wife's expense. That's another thing that happens when you go for a look. You end up getting somebody who really ain't down for you. Yes, he moved and left the royal family, and I see a lot of your coon Twitter like, oh, he sacrificed for the family. Truth is, he didn't like them motherfuckers anyway. Don't get caught up in how this shit look. Damn a look. You better have fun with who you with. You better have fun with who you with. And that damn queen, she's over here talking shit. You know, she don't like black folks. But look at here. Black people in the monarchy ain't nothing new. This is a picture of Queen Charlotte. Charlotte, North Carolina is named after her. Look at that nose. Look at that hair. This is the Queen of England's great auntie. That thick ass nose. She got a LeBron James nose. That's how you know she black. But when it gets to the I'm not gonna, because that's a very tangled web to weave right there. I'm not gonna get Charlotte's Web. Ha! Or then they call it Charlotte's Web. They could have named that web anything. They named it after Charlotte. Because Charlotte was the Negro Queen. How do you explain the Negro Queen? That's a web right there. Charlotte's Web. Because if we go further, it's a lot of blackness all up in that British monarchy. They got that Moorish blood in them. They still descend from that same Moorish bloodline. Those German Brits. Hell, the queen is only the queen because her uncle goddamn abdicated the throne because his ass was throwing trade secrets to the Nazis, hoping that they lost World War II, and then Hitler will install him back in as king. So he abdicated the throne to his brother. His brother was like, man, I didn't want to be no goddamn king. So his ass ended up dying real quick. And that's how queen, the current queen, this bag-faced looking heifer, that's how she ended up becoming the queen of the Protestant church, which is the Queen of England. So yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right, Eric. Harry knows he'll never become king, so it's like, shit, y'all, I'll never become king? Let me piss y'all off and marry a black chick. Fuck you, mom. I don't know white folks talk. But speaking of that, Meghan knew what she was getting. Look what happened to Harry's mama. The queen did not fuck with Princess Diana. And for a lot of you too young, Princess Diana was a star back in the day. Man, back in the 80s and 90s, I remember as a kid wondering Why do they keep showing this chick on camera all goddamn day? Princess Diana, the biggest stars in the late 80s through the 90s was Michael Jackson, Princess Diana, Prince, Mike Tyson. Nigga, those were the biggest stars on the planet back then. Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson, Princess Diana. They loved her. They treated her like shit. But she got to live until she got divorced and married that Arab motherfucker with that black blood. Oh, Princess Diana's pregnant? With that camel racing blood? Hell nah. We about to chase this bitch through a tunnel. Killed her ass. And that's why Meghan and Harry had to leave. Because the more and more, allegedly, that damn bag-faced heifer grandmother of theirs saw them walking around with that little dark baby, they wasn't safe. I don't feel sorry for them because they knew they was getting themselves into. And that happens a lot in today's world. People get with people they know they ain't got no business with, all based on a perception on what other people may think, and they end up living a fucked up life. So the keys to not letting that happen is to, first of all, know what you like and then go get it. Because when we say to not be into looks, we're not saying, what that means is, it doesn't mean not be attracted. You better be attracted to who you end up marrying, who you like. I remember I was doing some relationship advice talk on Clubhouse about a month ago, and it was these young folks that was getting married, and they asked me, you know, what is it? How did I know my wife was the one? DeJuan, how did you choose your wife? How did you know? I said, well, you don't know at first. At first, she was the chick with the big booty. It's real. She just put her middle finger up at me. Well, you don't know their brains. You can't. People don't walk around with projectors, and you can't just see what's going on inside their brain projected across the earth. You never gonna know how smart or good a person is if you ain't attracted to them first. She over here mad. But that's what it was, for real, for real. So you basically, and this is just true. This is how dudes operate. I remember I used to tell my wife this. She'd be like, man, y'all niggas is fucked up. But it's, hey, we may be, hell, whatever. But it's true. A man is never going to know how smart, how wonderful, how great you are if he's not first attracted to you. Yes, no. And look. If the woman of my dreams came packaged in Leslie Jones, I never would have met the woman of my dreams. I'm not saying go around and go look for somebody that got the Me Too bitches look. And I use the word bitch in the right context when I'm talking about her. I ain't talking about all women. I'm talking about KRS-Two in her nose. I never would have found the right one if it looked like her. If the woman of my dreams was packaged like Leslie Jones, I would have been a single man the rest of my life. You dig? You still gonna like what you like. But when you find what you like, be open to it. Be open to her. Be open to him. And this applies to you gay motherfuckers too. Hell, relationship is a relationship. If you gay, I ain't got no issue with you. If you gay, just get with the gay person that jive with you. You know what I mean? Get with one that's gonna feed your soul. If that's how you get down. Get with one that brings out the best in you. Again, that comes back down to knowing yourself and knowing what you want. Being clear on what you want. And having the courage to go and get what you want. Because here's another thing people do. They'll know what they want. They'll be clear on what they want. But they'll see what they want as a unicorn. And they'll see what they want as something that's impossible to get. Oh man, people say this all the time. Man, I'll never get a woman like that. I'll never get a woman like this. Well, how do you know if you don't try? You can get what you want. I sure did. You can get exactly what you want. But when what you want comes across you, are you going to, one, have the courage to get it? Are you, number two, going to be 100 with it and do right by it? Because what happens a lot of times, people get what they want, and they still playing these little bullshit ass games with themselves. You get what you want. Now you playing games with what you want. You ain't being 100 with what you want. You're unsure. Oh, I don't know. Is this the right time? You got what you want. You see what you need right there in front of you, but you still giving more attention to the person that looks a certain way. Or a person from your past that's been stringing you along this whole goddamn time, playing games, and then the real thing come in front of you, you don't want to jump, waiting on a motherfucker that's been playing with you the whole time. See, you don't want to get into a marriage and have this look right here. For those of you watching on Facebook, in YouTube, look at their body language. Look at Harry. He's sitting uncomfortable, hands folded. Non-verbally, he's saying he's guarding himself, being very guarded. See his legs crossed, hands folded, sort of with his head tilted. He was very insecure. You look at Megan, her face isn't confident. I don't see any confidence in those eyes. She's kind of looking like foggy, like, what the fuck is going on? It's a far different look than this look. You see in the wedding, you look at her eyes the day they got married. Look at her eyes. Look at her eyes now. Her eyes then. Her eyes now. That's a woman that's been put through a whole lot of shit. I have compassion on a human level. I don't believe any human should be put through shit just because they love somebody. So on a human level, I have compassion. But that's another level to relationships. Whenever you're in a relationships, whenever you're in a relationship, you're not just in a relationship with the person you married. You're in a relationship with that person's family. Like it or not. Good or bad. Hate it or love it. It don't matter the distance. You can live on the other side of the world. You're still in a relationship with that person's family. So it's best you get to know that person's family you end up with. You may not like the family. You still should understand them. Because you have an understanding of what you're dealing with and the loyalties people possess. Because although they're still together, are they? Can you have that much stress within your relationship and still truly be together? Especially when you listen to that interview and you saw Prince Harry basically, not Loki, he high key defended his family. He didn't say what they say. He was like, look, I ain't about to air my family out and defend this black woman next to me. No, I'm going to play the game a little bit. Because at the end of the day, he did marry her, so he has to save face. But are they really together? Are you really together with who you with? Or is that shit just a look? Don't be living your life in no motherfucking look. And for you fellas running and y'all, you just staggered music just said in the chat room. When they got married, you did see all these chicks going around celebrating and shit. Like, oh, I need to find me a white zaddy, blah, blah, blah. Black men, if you have your head on straight, you better run from them kind of chicks and run fast. You better find a black woman that's proud to be black and proud of who she is and loves who she is. You can't go too far with people who don't love themselves, or at least have the desire to love ourselves, because we're all a work in progress. Ain't none of us perfect. But you got to love yourself enough to have that desire to want to keep building and growing within yourself. Are you going to marry a family of degenerates and get mad when those degenerates treat you like shit? Or are you going to love yourself enough to wait on the person and the family that accepts you for who you are? I'm going to tell you something. If you accept yourself first, you ain't going to be waiting for long. Because you'll attract someone else who's done the similar work. But as long as you're externally focused, as long as you're focused on the look, on the superficial things, that's what you'll get in return. That's my spiel on relationships. My relationship courses are coming pretty soon. For those of you who want to find yourself, if you want to know what's going wrong within yourself, I'm not here just to talk about it. I'm here to help you. Because relationships are all about communication. Communication with yourself. Getting to know who you are, what you like, that comes down to an internal communication. The communication you have with yourself. My website is almost up, breakthroughas.org. You see this? For those of you that was in the chat room last week saying I need to put up some new pictures, don't put a white person there. Look, you happy now? I changed the pictures. The website ain't all the way up yet, but it's almost done. I have my self-motivation guidebook coming out soon. It's still in the editing phase, but it's done. I'm not here just to run my goddamn mouth, tell y'all what y'all need to be doing. No. I am here along with you to help you because I've been to the mountaintop. This is some personal experience, Jack, not some conceptual shit. So y'all see the website. It's coming up. Same thing, my work working with children. Education rights, all that good shit. All that's coming. All that's coming. All that's coming. I'm a communication expert, folks. I got my bachelor's degree in communication studies. And I've been doing this shit for 25 plus years. Look at these testimonials I got. I'm not, like again, I told y'all, I'm not one of these internet hustlers. These are testimonials from past clients. I only put 4 up there. I can put a lot more up there, but shit, can't inundate you with the stuff. You're going to try it yourself. So yeah, the website is a coming. Now I'm going to open it up for y'all. What's y'all questions, comments, likes, dislikes? Talk to me in the chat room. Been running my mouth. I haven't been paying too much attention to the chat room. What y'all talking about here in the chat room? I got about another 10, 15 minutes to talk to y'all about what y'all got going on. We're gonna be on Craig Facts a little later today, talking our shit like we do. We're gonna be on Craig Facts a little later today, talking our shit like we do. Check out last week's Craig Facts. We talked to y'all about blockchain technology. We talked about cryptocurrency. We talked about all these different things, and to help us as we move forward. We got to be ahead of that crypto game. And before you go investing in crypto, you want to learn more about it, know what it is. So watch last Thursday's episode of Craig Facts. Let's see here. What y'all talking about in the chat room? Sky's mom said, I'm going on 10 years of marriage. A little amnesia helps. Hey, that's a dope ass comment. It helps. Amnesia helps a lot in a relationship. Certain shit you just gonna have to forget, goddammit. Thanks, Kurt. I appreciate it. Levi said, for success, get advice from successful people. To get warning, go to 3 times divorce failures. That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, you're right. If you want some warnings, go to the people who done. Yeah. They could definitely tell you about the warnings because they're gonna tell you it based off their experience. I can talk to you success based off mine. Let me see. Mr. Original Thought said, I don't think we can comment on why women choose men of means. Why men of means when we don't have a code. Like, no, we can definitely comment. That's nature. Ain't got nothing to do with a code. Nothing to do with it. Code matters. Code definitely matters, but why women choose men of means ain't got nothing to do with code. That has everything to do with nature. Women have always chosen men with means. Always, always, always. That's why men with means have also, and through most traditional societies, have had multiple wives. In traditional societies, a man can have as many wives as he can take care of. In American society, legally it works a little different, but it still works the same. A woman needs security. A woman needs to know that things will be taken care of on a basic level. She has to. She needs that security. I don't care what race you are. And if you're a man that can provide that security, you'll always have your pick of women. So my advice to men who, and I'm not saying the brother who made this comment is this person. This isn't a dig or anything directly at you. This is just in general. If you're a man that don't have means, if you're a man that can't provide, if you're a man that can't get these, that can't put a woman in a stable situation, that means it's time for you to work on yourself more and get yourself to that point. And I'm not saying you got to go and pay all the bills. It's not the 50s anymore. Splitting bills is fine. That's fine. But nigga, at least be in position to split bills. That's all I'm saying. She's not going, you can't look for her to take care of it all. And on the other end, you have women who make a lot of money. And you have women who make more money than the man they're with. Let's talk about that. That can work too. Again, if you know who you are, that can't work in an insecure dynamic. If you're a very insecure dude, you probably shouldn't get with a woman that makes more money than you. It's going to cause major problems if you're an insecure person. I'm not judging insecure people. They exist. We need all kinds. But if you're an insecure person, no, that probably can't work. But if you're secure within yourself, yeah, you can be with a woman who makes more, because what stability are you providing? She just may need someone who's going to be an emotional rock for them. Someone, because even though they may have a job where they make more money, they still need someone stable to come home to and to be around when they're in their home environment. A stable father, someone who's going to be there to take the kids to games and be with her as the kids have activities and be consistent in the child's life. Consistency. If you're in a relationship where she makes more, that's something that the two in the relationship have to then work out how that relationship is going to work. Because relationships don't work on society's expectations. Relationships work on the two people in the relationship's expectations. And hell no, not what your mama think. What your mama think, what your auntie think, what your uncle think, that don't mean shit. What your homeboys think, what your homegirls think, fuck they thoughts. They thoughts don't mean a goddamn. And I love my parents. I love them. I love my family so. I love my family so much. But no, I'm lucky enough to have a family that loves me enough not to say a goddamn thing about my marriage. Because I think that they know that even if they did say something, they ain't got shit to say about what goes on in this house. I set the rules. We set the rules. You set the rules to your relationships. You and the person you with. If the two of you agree that y'all want to have midget threesomes every other month, that's your fucking business. You may want, it may be some of you dudes out there, you like seeing your woman get banged with a midget elbow. That's your business. You may have an open relationship where both or one person decides that, hey, every now and again I'm gonna get out. You get a 3 times a year pass or once a year pass. That's your business. You may be in an exclusive monogamous relationship that don't nobody cheat, everybody comes home. Whatever it is, it's your business. The whole point of it is to lay the rules down early on to what y'all business is going to be, and both people respect the rules that you laid out. That's all a corporation or LLC is. Joint ventures in business. An LLC is you open up an LLC with somebody else. They have something called bylaws. Guess who creates the bylaws? Guess who creates the rules on how that business is going to be run? The two motherfuckers running the business. Same way in marriages. Same way in friendships. You decide. Whatever you want is what the fuck you want. And you ain't got to answer to nobody, especially your monkey ass parents. Especially them. That was one of my issues with that goddamn what was that movie? Coming to America. I had a good y'all saw my breakdown on Coming to America, watch that. But one of my main issues was you got a nigga 30 years old talking about something, going to his mama. He got 3 naked chicks right there ready to bathe him. He running back to his mama. Mama, what do I do? If you don't flip them 3 bathers like a stack of playing cards, nigga, the fuck you doing asking your mama? I remember when I worked at the bank. I would see this shit all the time. When I worked at the bank when I was in college, I was a new account representative. That was one of my jobs. I opened up new accounts. And I could not stand. I would get this every now and again. Unfortunately, it'd be us, man, black folks. Because unfortunately, a lot of black mothers don't raise their sons. They baby their sons. I would get these 25-year-old grown-ass men coming and sitting at my desk. 18, 25, 23, 27. With they fucking mama. Opening a checking account. I'm trying to tell them, hey, you want the gold checking, you want the platinum checking, you want the what? And they like, mama, what you think? If you still 30 saying, mama, what you think, you are not good for a woman. She may get with you, but she ain't gonna respect you for long. No woman, it is not in a woman's nature to respect a fool. I got that line from Farrakhan. He said that in his Savior's Day speech in 2018. It's not natural to a woman to respect a fool. If you can't think about what kind of bank account you want in your 20s, you a fool. Now, it don't mean you got to stay a fool. Hopefully, if you're that person listening to this, you wake up and be like, damn, that is kind of fucked up. Maybe I should start doing this shit myself. Yes, nigga, you should. And start today. Start yesterday. Matter of fact, rethink your last 4 decisions and go back and revise those. And if it happens to be the same what your mama thought, that's cool. But nigga, learn this shit in your own. I used to hate that shit, nigga. Mama, do I need a savings account too? Does your mama put your condom on for you, nigga? Yeah, you're right. Bug Show making brothers look weak. Making brothers look weak. We need to... It's 2 things that need to happen with the baby boys. Because we got too many baby boys in black society. The baby boys either need to grow up or get the fuck out the way. Women, that's why you got so many black lesbians running around here. Black women so goddamn loyal, they're like, man, instead of dating a white dude, I just get a black woman. Because a woman can't truly respect baby boy. Baby boys get a lot of pussy. But a woman inherently cannot long-term respect a baby boy. And that's another thing we need to get off of, fellas and women. Sex is a major part of a relationship, but it's not the only part. You got to stop thinking with your Johnson. I was watching Atlanta Housewives when we was watching Atlanta Housewives this past Sunday. One of them, I forgot which one, made a comment. It all basically all came down to, well, if they fucking, everything should be good. Like if fucking was the path to freedom, God damn it, we wouldn't have no relationship counseling in America, in this world today. You better think with your head. The real one, the one with a brain in it, the one between your ears. That's why politics is all fucked up. Politics is fucked up because you got people going to the polls, electing political leaders based on what their sexual policy is. Who's going to allow two men to get married? Who's going to, we need somebody we need sex in politics. Oh, I want to vote for somebody who's going to have legalized polyamorous relationships. No, I'm going to vote for somebody who's going to legalize men being women and call boys even though they were born girls. And meanwhile, you paying taxes, ain't getting none of that back. You got homelessness. You got your money going to pay for wars that you don't approve of. Highway projects that displace you from your neighborhood. The things you really should be focusing on in your politics, you're ignoring over sexual practices. All Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is not enough. You gotta be black, but identify as woman while keeping your dick. Now your life matters even more because you're taking the brave step to transition sexually. Let me tell you from the bottom of my heart, fuck your sexual preference. That's between you and your own two ears and the person you're fucking. That's it. That's all. Whatever your sexual desires are, that's between you and the person you're with. Don't be going around talking to your family about what's going on in your bedroom. Telling your friends. You gossiping to your homegirl about all this. Now she going right behind your back. Because women be doing that shit like a motherfucker. Single fellas in here know what I'm talking about. You gossiping to your homegirl about what this nigga doing. Your quote unquote homegirl is up in his inbox. You posting pictures on Instagram sexually suggestive of your mate. You niggas posting pictures of these chicks and the cats you coolest with all up in her inbox. Your relationship is your relationship. It ain't got a goddamn thing to do with nobody else. And that's why, going back to this royal fiasco, part of the issue these motherfuckers is having such major problems. Everybody in their goddamn relationship. Don't put your relationships out there. Your relationships are yours. Hell, even the queen know that. Even the Queen of England old musty ass know that. You don't look at the queen. You see the queen, her son, and her grandkids. You don't see her husband, the Duke. How often do you see the queen with her husband out in public? Her former Nazi husband, the Duke, just stopped driving, 2 years ago when he had like his third crash in a row? The queen don't even go out in public with her husband. The queen like, you're not about to talk to me about my relationship. That was a terrible British accent. That was horrible, Dwan. That shit was terrible. You're not about to tell me and talk to me about my husband and the relationship. So the queen go out by herself. And her bag-eyed Nazi husband keep his ass at home. So yeah. What else y'all talking about here in the chat room? I'm about to get out of here in a second. I gotta get to Craig facts in a little bit. He says Mickey Knox says certain women export that was funny. Smoke said, "Oh, wet bacon face." Yeah, the queen do look like an old wet bacon face. That the fat on the bacon before it's born. All right. Never talk about the inner workings of your relationship. Never. Nope. That's your business. Certain things are to remain private. Especially, then it goes double for a relationship. Because certain things you may be cool with being put out there, the other person may not. And don't do it if they're not. So it's best just to not talk about those interpersonal relation workings at all. I'm going to be talking to y'all more about relationships on this show. I will be talking about relationships in general. And even doing that, you ain't going to never find out the inner workings of my shit. Fuck that. You don't know what's under the soil. You just see the trees growing out of it. Do you? The soil is one thing. We'll produce some plants for you, but no. Ain't no cameras looking down into the soil of it. Dude said my British accent sound like I'm from Baltimore. Yeah, that shit was terrible. Yeah. Now we're not gonna be at that studio again. We're gonna be back at the regular studio on Craig Facts today. And Kevin Bryan said, "I fucked up once, never again." So yeah, that's basically it. What I want to talk about today. I thank y'all for joining me. I got to get ready for the next show for Craig Facts. So remember this: there are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages for those who are willing to pick up the game. BreakthroughAS.org. The website is coming out. It's going to be up soon. The book is going to be out soon. I want y'all to pay attention because not only am I just running my goddamn mouth, I'm going to help y'all with this shit. With these online classes and webinars that will be dropping pretty soon. Also, my new book that's coming out, because like I said, all things start with the self. All relationships are a mirror about what's going on inside of you. So my book, No Time to Waste, a self-motivation guidebook, is coming to you soon. You want the motivation on getting these things done, on accomplishing those goals that you set for yourself? please allow me to help you out with that. These online classes and this book is coming real soon. My name is Dwan B. I'm out.